Okay, good morning, students. Today in our course Academic Writing, we are going to talk about planning research and the plan of today's lecture. Planning, taking notes, where to take notes, what to take notes about, and how to take notes, and detailed outline. Planning and taking notes. An important part of the research and planning process is taking notes of the information and ideas that you find. Do we need them? As you read the source, making and writing down the important thing that you read will help you to remember them and understand them better. It may seem time consuming, but writing the paper will go faster if you already have all your ideas marked and written down. Start taking notes from or your sources during or after your research period. It's easier to do this after you have a basic outline. Then you can organize the notes around the main points of your paper. Still, you'll probably have more notes that you need for your paper because your original ideas and organization will change. Where to take notes? On photocopies or printed internet documents. Highlight or underline important information. Take notes in the margin. Write down your comments, questions about the information. Note which main point from your paper the information supports. This will help you when you are organizing and writing your paper later. On a computer file, create a separate Word document for each section of your paper. Take notes of important information from paper sources. Don't forget to include the author's name. Put text copied from web page on quotation mark. Be very careful, this often leads to unintentional plagiarism. Don't forget to include the author's name and web address. You can also write it in notebook. Write the author's name in the top of the page. Take notes of important information in the margin. Note which main point from your paper the information supports. On note cards, write one piece of information on each card. Don't forget the author's name and other source information. Put the main point from your paper at the top of the card so you can organize all the notes later. What to take notes about. Background information about your topic which is necessary for your paper. Arguments and explanation which support or oppose your ideas. Facts, examples, expert opinions, and other supporting details. How to take notes. Summarize. Write the main points of the source in your own words. Good for sources with ideas but not many details related to your topic. Paraphrase. Retell important information in your own words. Use questions marked for directly copied words. Good for details which will support or oppose you. Quote. Copy the exact word from the source. Good for strong, exciting passages. Comment. Write any questions or ideas you think of when you are reading sources. Then there are different note-taking styles. The Cornell note-taking system. The Cornell note-taking system is a format of condensing and organizing notes without need for libraries recopy. By dividing paper into specific sections, there are 6 main aspects to the system. Name, date, and title. Every time that you start a new series of notes, you should record the name of the task. In case, arrange it in order. The date and the title hidden and subhidden. Record. This is the actual note-taking process. It's interesting to know that this component only takes up 1/6 of the total method, demonstrating how important review and reflection is through the note-taking process. Set 1. Questions. Formulate some question that you have based on your notes. Write them on the left-hand column, the Q column. Reflect. Think for a few minutes about the material that you have learned. Ask yourself questions such as, what is the significance of these facts? What principles are they founded on? How do these ideas fit in with what I already know? And review. Use the space at the bottom for each page that you have reserved for a summary. Once you have completed these summaries, use these summaries to help you with the main idea of a paragraph. Brainstorming and mind maps. Both of these methods are the graphic, pictorial means of representing information. They work by relating each fact or idea to other facts or ideas. They are good for those who like visual representation of information. They are not particularly useful for those taking notes on laptop. What you will end up with is essentially a series of circles that connect wild lines from one to another. To follow this method, begin in the middle of a sheet of paper. Determine the main subject or topic. Write this title on the center of a page with a circle around it. Note that you can have more than one paper going at the same time. If you think you have the main topic and then the topic shifts, you can create a new mind map and then consolidate your notes later. As major facts, subheadings are presented that relate to the main subject or topic. Draw lines out from the circle and label. As additional facts are presented that relate to each subheading, draw these lines linked to appropriate major facts and label. Once you have created your visual representation of the material, use a space around the edge of the paper to pose questions. You can also use different colored lines to connect different thoughts. The charting method. As suggested by its name, this method of taking lectures notes revolves around columns to organize your ideas. It can be used in a variety of different ways. Mostly it's used, as I said, in writing lectures, taking note of lectures, but it's also very useful when writing your essay. Now, some students use it for lectures where there are going to be categories that are discussed. For example, the different column types in a fine art history class. Other students find it helpful in a math or chemistry class because the formula can be written in the first column with examples written in the subsequent columns. Linear note taking or the outline method. The method of taking lecture notes is suitable for those using a laptop or tablet. It's also particularly ideal for your studying the humanities or social science. You write general information to the left and add more specific facts and clarification intended to the right. Be sure to write your points in an organized order. Follow these guidelines to implement this method. Start with a major point or topic. Write it farthest to the left of the page or space on which you are making your notes. Beneath it, write a series of more specific points relating to that major point and intend the rules slightly. Levels of importance of the specific points will be indicated by their vertical or horizontal distance away from major points. Indentation can be simple, not making just space relationship, or more complex by using Roman numerals, letters, and decimals. Some tips and tricks for taking notes. They are common because for each people there are their own tips and their own comfortable usage of taking notes. First one, write keywords, not full sentences. Take notes in your own words. Structure your notes with hidden, subheadings, and numbered lists. Underline key points. Use symbols and abbreviations where possible. Use different colors to highlight the important parts. Write down questions that refer to the main topic and well as the subtopics. And the second part of our lecture is planning detailed outline. After going through your sources and taking notes, you can create a detailed outline by adding details to this basic outline, as well as adding any new points that you found. A detailed outline plans each body paragraph of your paper for you, from main point to supporting points to supporting details. It doesn't matter how many ideas you have if you can connect them. To turn those spiral concepts into a finished product, you are going to need a coherent plan. That's what outlines are good for. There's a draft for what you want to write, say, present, or create. You map them out hierarchically, so there is a visual difference between your main points and subsidiary ones. Levels of research paper outline. Understanding the levels of your research paper outline is a key. A research paper outline typically contains between 2 and 4 layers of organization. The first 2 layers are the most generalized. Each layer thereafter will contain the research you complete and present more and more detailed information. The levels are typically represented by a combination of Roman numerals, Arabic numerals, uppercase letters, lowercase letters, but may include other symbols. Refer to the guidelines provided by your institution, as formatting is not universal and different between universities, fields, and subjects. If you are writing the outline for yourself, you may choose any combination you prefer. Here can you see 2 examples of the detailed outline. And what about language? Language in research paper outlines. To write an effective research paper outline, it's important to pay attention to language. This is especially important if it's one you will show to a teacher or be assessed on. There are 4 main considerations: parallelism, coordination, subordination, and division. Parallelism may be consistent with grammatical form. Parallel structure or parallelism is a repetition of a particular grammatical form within a sentence, or in this case, between points and subpoints. This simply means that if the first point is a verb, the subpoint should also be a verb. Coordination. Be aware of each point's weight. Your chosen subheading should hold the same significance as each other, as should all first subpoints, secondary subpoints, and so on. Subordination. Work from general to specific. Subordination refers to the separation of general points from specific. Your main headings should be quite general, and each level of subpoint should become more specific. And division. Break information into subpoints. Your heading should be divided into 2 or more subsections. There is no limit to how many subsections you can include under each heading, but keep in mind that the information will be structured into a paragraph during the writing stage, so you shouldn't go overboard with the number of subpoints. And in conclusion of our lecture, essay outlines provide structure and guidance for writers as they begin the drafting process. An outline should briefly summarize the intended content of your essay and organize that content in a sensible, coherent manner. Knowing how to outline is an important skill for students, since some instructions require students to turn in outlines before submitting their papers. So today that's all in our lecture. Thank you for your attention.